Piece of shit. That actually timed out. That SD card was just full there. Usually my videos cut out because the SD cards are old. They've just been used, been recorded over so many times, and it doesn't record properly, it stops or whatever. I think this camera's a piece of shit also. But so as I was saying, the asshole who found me, well, I guess I was staying on I was staying on this guy's property. Then the neighbors called. It wasn't even their property. It was none of their business. It's so frustrating. So these whiny bitches call the sheriff. The sheriff goes on like some stakeout or something. I don't know. And he sees me leaving the property. There's some other details involved, but he sees me leaving the property. Then he calls for backup, and he gets me and he pulls me over on the side of the road. He had this fucker just walks around with his gun drawn. He had his gun drawn then. When he found me here, he had his gun drawn. Fucker's gonna get a bullet in him. Most people are pussies, so they probably wouldn't, shoot him, especially a cop. But given the right circumstances. So this asshole found me up here. He pulls me over on the side of the road. He calls for his little backup and whatnot. And then he was calling out all these different agencies. Like, he called out the Forest Service. I think it might be BLM out here. But he called them out. There's nothing they could do. They left. The highway patrol pulled up. I don't know why. Maybe they were just in the area. A lot of agencies will just pull over if they see another agency, especially their own agency. And he was trying to charge me with... Well, they arrested me first. I was on the side of the road for like 3 hours. Then they arrested me. And then at the station they were saying, "Oh, we don't know what we're going to charge you with. We're just going to arrest you first and charge you later." I'm like, fuck you. So, I'm just chilling in my cell, waiting to see what they're charging me with so I can start formulating a defense. And they finally decided, well, I think they were going to charge me with one thing, and then they realized that wasn't any good, so they decided to change their mind and charge me with something else. They ultimately decided to try to charge me with growing marijuana because I had a lot of pots and just gardening tools, really. Basically what a lot of homeowners have in their garage. They're trying to say it. They're trying to put a bunch of stuff together and say that's a crime, rather than realizing, hey, that's a crime and here's the evidence. They're saying, hey, here's the evidence and let's make up a crime. So basically I told everybody to fuck themselves. It was really ignorant the way they were trying to handle it, but at the end of the day I just stood my ground. The courts will try to pressure you real hard and try to scare you with all this bullshit, but I knew it was all bullshit, so I just told them to fuck off, and they just dismissed the charges. But when it comes to court, you just kind of have to have some idea of what's going on. Just because you're innocent doesn't mean they won't find you guilty. It just depends on the case, depends on the circumstances. Even with all the, even though my case was bullshit, um, there's still some kind of angle that they could use to try and charge me. And my public defender was still like, playing games. The public defender doesn't have your best interests at mind. They're just trying to process you. And they're trying to continue to be friends with the district attorney and the judge. So I'm not going to get into all that right now, but anyways, they dismissed those charges. And then when this same deputy who charged me, when he found me up here, he was he was just really, really annoyed. He was really angry and pissed off, but it was like he wasn't getting all aggressive or crazy. He was just really had a case of anxiety, I guess. He was just like, oh man, not you again. He's like, man, I'm gonna have to go through all that again. Just leave. And he's trying to say that all the areas out here are outlined with property markers and whatnot, and this is somebody's property. And I'm like, I just basically remaining silent. I didn't want to say too much. I didn't want him to get pissed off or anything. I didn't want him to do anything stupid. So I was just like, yeah, I thought this was part of the road. And it is, if you look at it. This basically exists because of the drainage ditch over there. But, yeah, he was basically defeated. He's like, man, I don't want to deal with this guy. So, yeah. That happened. So now I can't. Now I just come up here to organize my car and do